Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my partner and friend, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We want to welcome you to the conversation this morning. You know, Mondays when we have coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. So we hope that you'll wade in and give us your feedback about what it is that's on your mind today. We want to welcome everyone listening on Clubhouse, those of you watching on the replay, all of you who may be in virtual reality, checking us out later. So we just thank you for your participation. Be sure to direct message us so that we can respond. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you get a chance and come on over and join the conversation. With that, we're going to get started this morning. We always have a nice subject. So, what's our subject today, Fran?
What is the secret to your success?
Oh, wow. I'm
Mhm.
going to put that down in the
Yeah,
in the
we want to hear from you. What things are working for you? What strategies, tactics, ideas, things that you've got going on? What is working for you? You know,
Mhm.
here at BizChicks, we have a lot of things that we talk about, and we've been doing this almost 10 years now, coming up
Mhm.
on 10 years in 2023, and we want to know what works for you. What has worked for you? What is working for you? What things have you learned that you would like to share with someone else?
Mm.
What you do and how you work is going to help somebody else. So, what's the secret to your success? You all are successful. So,
Well,
Tara,
I think we need to start with the what Mark says all the time when we talk about success. He says success is personal.
yeah,
It's personally defined and it's personally achieved based on where you want to go and what your objective was.
right.
And I think we have some daily successes. I think that's one of the things. A lot of times people don't want to talk about success unless it's like humongous.
And it
Uh,
does have to be.
Today Dolly Parton received $100 million from Jeff Bezos to do with as she wills because he recognized her heart and her courage, and he gave her that money to distribute for charitable um, objectives. That's Some people say I don't have success if I don't have success like that.
But
I
that's not,
wake up, I'm a multi Grammy winner, country Western Music Awards, all kinds of accolades. That's what they perceive to be success. But to me, success is getting up and putting one foot in front of the other, if that's all that you're able to do. For instance, someone who may have limitations, just walking out to the mailbox every day is a success. So, we're not just talking about big stuff, folks. We're talking about the daily things that you do that make you successful.
for some people, it's just getting up, just
Exactly.
getting out of the bed. Um, when you wake up and you get up, that was a success because there could have been things there are a lot of times people are struggling things on their minds,
Yes.
things that are not maybe going well the way they think they should go, and
Mm-hmm.
they got up to face the day again.
Yeah.
You did it. You got up. You saw another sunshine, and you decided to take it on again. You decided to
And
take
we
it on.
applaud you. We applaud you over here, Bishop.
Yeah.
We
It
applaud
may,
you for that.
right. It may not be going uh, like you say. People define success in many different ways. You may not have the 100 million. that Dolly Parton just got, but you do have something. You do, and in one of the books that I wrote, I talked about wealth is having
Mhm.
what you need to do whatever you want when you want. So, if you wanted to be able to give into a particular charity,
Mhm.
it could be something as simple as I want to buy a bag of cement for this charity. It's
Exactly.
$8. So you paid the $8 and you were able to help with that charity.
Mhm.
You can help
Mhm.
a child at $125 per, and $125 goes to feed that child, help that child for school or what have you for a year. You were able to do that. That's successful. And we think sometimes, like Terry just said, success is grand and huge and whatever. No, there are little bitty successes.
There are things that, especially when we um, combine our efforts. We used to say, "Many hands makes for light work."
Hmm.
When we get together and we pull in the same direction,
Hmm.
success is quicker, easier, and achievable. So I just want you to know, if you are listening to this on the replay, or you're listening to this over on Clubhouse later on the replay, or you're there now, we just want you to know that success is not measured according to what happened to other people. It's measured by what you define as success. And every time you put one foot in front of the other, that is success. Just make sure those footprints are going towards your goals.
And then to celebrate the
Mm.
milestones.
Oh my
Celebrate,
gosh. Say
celebrate
that,
your
Francie.
celebrate your new client. Celebrate that you got a call that someone wanted your product or service. Celebrate you were able to share your dream, your vision, your passion, your purpose with someone. Celebrate every opportunity that comes. There is today is in the month of November. We are looking at being thankful. 30 days of thankfulness, just being thankful and grateful.
Just grateful,
Hmm. Being
grateful,
here,
grateful, grateful.
just being, doing, having family, being grateful, because we can always look at around us and see what we don't have. But how about celebrating all that we do have?
You know something? I think, how about just thinking about how the whole Thanksgiving thing began? It began because they'd been through such a rough winter. They'd lost so many people, and they connected with their neighbors whom they had no knowledge about their customs and ways, but they all sat down together because food is a common denominator, and fellowship and gratefulness is a common denominator.
Mhm.
So let's sit down with our neighbors, with our friends, with our loved ones, and celebrate and be thankful for the many successes that you've achieved. If you're still standing after all we've been through these last couple of years, you are a success. You made it.
Yeah, and you should be applauded.
Because there were a lot of changes, a lot of what would I call shifts that had to be made on the spur of the moment. Your lifestyle changed. You had to adapt, come over here to a virtual world in a lot of cases, and communicate with one another through Zoom meetings as opposed to going into offices. Just the whole thing of, and just getting in your car and realize, hey, this is almost a ghost town out here. I'm the only one out here on the road. How unusual is that on a freeway? So I'm just saying, you've adjusted to a lot. And so I would count it all joy and success. And we applaud you.
Yes, we do. Hey, Shanu, this is we're talking about sharing your secrets of success. And let me see, you have a comment down here, so let me look. Good morning. Do you have uh any anything that you would like to share with the audience today, Shanu, that you've done that worked for you, something that you're celebrating, something that you're thankful for? And we're talking about the secret to your success.
Mm-hmm.
Not success as anybody else has determined it, but yours. And let me see, I think you already have privileges to speak up here. Yeah, you do. So let me know if there's, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the floor if you'd like to, Shanu.
Unmute yourself and
Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody.
good morning, Shanu.
You just have to keep. You just have to keep thriving. You have to keep getting up. You have to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yes.
You have to keep having goals. You have to keep having levels that you want to get to, and regardless of what goes on in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you have to keep moving forward. And that's been my secret because the last 2 years have been crazy. My mom passed away in 2021, and then this year, in January of this year, my sister was murdered. But you have to keep getting up. You have to keep getting up while you're planning those funerals and doing everything that you know you have to do. You have to keep getting up. You have to keep focused on what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Because life is not going to stop. Life is going to do life. And you're going to always have something other than what you're doing going on. But you cannot let it just knock you down to the point where you just pull the covers over your head and just say, I'm not going to do nothing else. Okay. And that's my philosophy. I've been on my own since I was 16. I'm 70 now. Okay. You have to keep getting up.
Wow, Shanu, thank you.
Yeah.
That's some remarkable advice and from the voice of wisdom and experience. We appreciate you wading in. Thank you so much. We are in
Getting,
agreement with you.
yeah, getting up
Mhm.
is not always easy,
Mhm.
but it must be
No,
done.
it must be done. It's not always easy. Sometimes you don't want to get up, but you just have to make yourself get up, take a shower, put some clothes on, and keep moving forward. Even if you just make one phone call,
All right.
even if you make one phone call, and if that's all you can do for that day, do that and celebrate that one phone call.
There you go.
I cannot tell you, like when my sister got murdered, it's like my phone was ringing off the hook with detectives and district attorney's office and just all of this other stuff, going on, her job and just news reporters, just craziness. But I had to keep getting up. And I was still dealing with my mom's estate. I hadn't even finished dealing with my mom's estate yet. And now my sister. So it's like, but you have to just keep getting up. You cannot let the weight of everything that's going on around you crush you. You just can't do it. You can't.
Wow. It
Amazing.
it is, and we never know what someone else is going through, and but you have to figure out you and figure out what is your success. What are you going to do to keep moving toward what it is that you desire? And Mark has a comment. He says, the bottom line, why you are doing what you're doing, why are you doing what you're doing, is who you are being and what you are doing aligned with your definition of success. Let's take a look at that again. Is who you are being and what you are doing aligned with your definition of success? And then he asked this question: is your definition of success defined and measurable?
Mhm.
How do you define success? And that's what Terry was talking about when we're talking about sharing the secrets to your success.
Mhm,
First
mhm.
thing you gotta identify is, what is your definition of success? And then Mark is pushing it further. Is it defined and is it measurable? Because I was looking at something and people were talking about, oh, they're successful and blah, 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 successful, looking outwardly
Mhm,
at
mhm.
what they appear or what they think is someone's, um,
Perception of success.
yeah, or their, what did you call the symbols of success?
Oh, symbol of
Because,
legitimacy. Mhm,
yeah, because you're seeing something and you think that person is successful because of the car they drive, the
mhm.
house they live in, or the zip code they live in, or the food they eat, or where they hang out. But are they really successful in their own eyes?
And then you hear years later, I was struggling with this and I was struggling with that in the midst of all of these symbols of success. They really had some personal stuff going on up here. And so my
And,
grandmother used to say there is no substitute for peace of mind. Mm,
um, uh, okay, let me go here.
mhm,
Mark says, too many make success a secret that they keep from themselves. You have
mm,
a better chance of getting what you want if you know what that is.
mhm,
You got to know what you want. And a lot of times it's okay not wanting what you see on TV or the symbols that have come to be a part of the quote unquote success, because the symbols that we see, the car, the boat, the house, the whatever, maybe that's not even the symbol of success for those people who have it.
mhm,
I can remember, I don't know if it was Reba McEntire or could have been Dolly Parton, might have been Dolly Parton. She was in a I don't know if it was a science fiction show, and the person was all about Dolly Parton. I think it was it Star Trek? Oh my God, Discovery, Star Trek, something I was watching.
mhm,
And Dolly Parton, they had went and looked at some old time machines type stuff, and Dolly Parton was singing 9 to 5. And the person that was, oh, it was on what was the name of that show? Anyway, the Orville. Dolly
mhm,
Parton was the the hero to this alien race, right?
mhm,
And so they got to go meet her in a hologram, and she was living in her cabin, nice cabin, but
mhm,
it wasn't a mansion, whatever. She said, these are the things that I like. The cabin, where she grew up when she was
mhm,
younger, and just the things that she thought was successful. She has $100 million to give away, but to her, it was just the simple things, but she was still very successful in the eyes of other people because she had all this money. But for her, her symbol of success was the little cabin, the things that she grew up with,
mhm, mhm.
and having happiness and joy and remembering her family and those type of things. So her definition of success may not be the Grammys that she won and all of that. And so what I hear Mark saying is, what is your definition of, how do you know you have made it? I
Do
have made it when
He
it feels
asked the question, do you even have you even sat down and asked what do you want? He says you have a better chance of getting what you want if you know
no,
what that is. Have you identified what you even want so that you know when you've reached success?
correct. So I have a book out, And I had to ask myself, is the success, do I see success as the book being out and a lot of people reading it and it's on the number one bestsellers list, like most people tell you that's for?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't my, that's not my intention for the book. My intention is for the book to change the hearts and minds of the reader on the subject that I wrote. That was my intention, to get the message out about that. So if I'm going to get the message out about that, and then I said, okay, what's the best way to do that? So you put out the book, but then you do a workshop or a seminar in addition to it, to make sure that the people get an opportunity to experience the book, not just read
Mm-hmm.
the book and put it down. Oh, that was good. No, I wanted to change lives.
There you go.
It wasn't the number. It and a lot of people write a book because they think, okay, I'm gonna get on the bestsellers list, and all that, but that wasn't necessarily my goal. That could be an end product, fine, but that's not the main goal. The success for me is the fact that it's out there, and now people have an opportunity to purchase it and make a shift
Mm-hmm.
in their lives. Um, and I'm saying that to say that, what is the purpose for your business? Because a lot of people, if the purpose is money first, it's going to be a little difficult, because we all seen the uh the tactics and things. Okay, build this course and people will flock to you and pay you for this. Terry and I had an experience where the people did the whole,
It was
uh,
terrible.
what was it? They did the whole scenario. Okay, you bring them in here and then you do this and
This
then you,
whole funnel wonderfulness.
and it wasn't because you were trying, you, yes, you want to try and help them, but the thing was, how many people can I get into this
Mm-hmm.
funnel and then qualify them to see if they can pay you whatever. It was just like I
I
felt.
call it the whole used car salesman thing. It was terrible.
And it didn't feel genuine. Now I'm thinking the person has a genuine way of helping people, but
Mm-hmm.
the way to get to the help was very,
Convoluted and painful. I call it. I was been painful.
I was like, this is not how I want to help people. Make it easy to help the people that you want to help. So, what is your, like Mark always says, you got to identify what it is that you want. What is success for you? How do you define success?
You need to define it, because if you don't, you won't know when you get there, and you'll fail to. And the other thing is, you don't know if you're on the right path, so that you can celebrate along the way.
Mm. So let's define our success. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
that it's what you want. And like Shanu said, get up, even though things may not be going well, may not be going right, may not be what it is. And if you know what it is, your success is, and you defined it, you'll know it when you see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if your life is not um, a picture of the thing that you saw, then you need to keep moving, because that means you haven't arrived at wherever it is that you wanted to go. This ain't the right destination. I'm out here in the country. I'm supposed to be in a metropolitan area. I'm
Mm-hmm.
in the country here, so I'm not at my right destination. You won't know your destination if you haven't defined it and made it measurable. What is the right destination? Is it money in the bank? That might be your idea of success, having a certain amount of money in the bank. Okay, then that's fine. It could be um, writing and selling several books. It could be whatever it is, selling soap and making it available to every place. And Mark has another comment.
He says, and do not fall into the trap of solely focusing on what you're doing while igniting who you are being. Who you are has everything to do with how fast, how long lasting, how deep your success, and how many opportunities you will be rewarded. Mhm.
I think he said ignoring. Uh, you will be while ignoring who you are being. Do not fall into the trap of solely focusing on what you're doing while ignoring who you are being.
In other words, don't stop being yourself because you're so busy doing stuff
Right.
that
And
you lose your identity.
you're not being, and I was thinking about this the other day. Stop trying to do stuff, or just stop trying to do. And I see what Mark is saying. Stop trying to do, and do. Just be. Just be happy. And Mark is here. Maybe he can come up and explain a little more. Okay, Mark, I think you are there. You have the floor, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The reason why I say that, and I know that you ladies have heard me say this more than once, I'm sure, so forgive me for repeating myself, but for me it's very important, is one thing that I've discovered in working with many people over the years is that there are so many that are paralyzed by the art of the possible. Sometimes even being able to define what people want is a struggle because the possibilities are too big. So they can't even get to the point of choosing a target. And what I discovered years ago, quite by accident really, is if you choose that which you want to be today, in other words, choose the adjective that best describes who you want to be today and define what that looks like. And, how are you going to evaluate your success in that regard? In other words, I am patient. Okay, how am I going to evaluate my success of patience at the end of the day? What are the challenges and obstacles that I see before the day even begins in being patient? And what will I do to overcome those? If you can get your arms around that, what I discovered is that because you are creating a heightened level of consciousness in who you are being on any given day, you're opening the door to clarity. Things will start flowing in that you had unconsciously obstructed before. And so people's lives change very, very quickly if they just even focus on that, on who you are being and what you are doing in regards to making that effective and that successful, then other things begin to fall into place.
Wow.
Okay.
So we're choose who you want to be and then begin the doing. The doing will follow that. Am I hearing that correct, Mark? Choosing who you want to be first. I want to be a person of value. I want to be patient and kind and loving. And go ahead, Mark.
I would even just say choose one for the day, because you can choose a different one tomorrow. And it's not I want to be, it's I am. I am. The most powerful words that you can ever utilize are those two words, because anything that follows those two words will find you.
Wow. So who will I be today? I am kind. And I like that I pick one for each day. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, who am I today? And because the reason why this matters, the reason why this is important is because it, over time, it teaches you the way that the universe works. Because when you choose that which you want to be, that which is not that shows up, because that is the only way that you can be that, is to flex that muscle. The example that I've always used is, if I am patient, well, if that is my objective, then the way that my patience will be flexed, that muscle will be flexed, is if things show up that ordinarily would trigger my impatience. Because that is my moment to make a different choice, to make a conscious choice, because I've decided this is who I'm going to be today. What starts happening over time is you start to see the relationship between your intention and the way that your day unfolds, which has everything to do with success from my perspective, because success is, in my opinion, aligning thoughts, words, and actions with a clear, defined vision.
Say that again. Aligning
thoughts, words, and actions with a clear, defined vision.
Okay, because see, Mark, you're going to have to teach this. We're going to have to do a workshop. Clear, defined
Vision.
And as Mark said, this is not easy to get to. We're going to have to do the work. It's okay to do the work. And following with our little thought for today is, I need to do this this is a secret to success. Aligning my thoughts, my words, and actions with a clear, defined vision.
And one of the things that I find too, is, particularly in the United States, is people tend to be very career or work focused. And that's great. But if you are doing that at the expense of looking at your life in total, you are not only not serving yourself, you are sabotaging yourself. Because when you go to work, all of you shows up, whether you like it or not. So it's about, people talk about work-life balance, which is a complete misnomer and a way to set yourself up. There's no such thing. It's harmony. So it's about, how do I create a life of harmony where all things are working together to fulfill the vision that I have for my life?
That makes sense.
Wow. I'm writing this down.
All things are working in harmony to fulfill the vision of my life
that I have for my life. Yeah, because in that way, all things are working together to fulfill the vision to fulfill the vision I have for my life. Okay, so that means how I'm eating.
They're working together in harmony.
Right, how I am resting, how I am interacting with people around me. All of these things need to be in harmony with the vision that I have for my life. So it really makes you stop to think and reassess who you are. And going back to what he said, who am I today? I'm kind, and I'm working in harmony with those people who are around me. I know there's going to be some people who are not going to be so kind to me today, but I have an opportunity to walk in kindness. And
I think that one of the things that's so important about that is sometimes we operate under this illusion just that we are who we are, and that's who it is. Okay, you can also choose who you want to be. We have there are many iterations of us within us. So we can consciously choose who we want to be as we walk through the world today. We don't have to surrender to just reacting to whatever circumstance arises. You can, but that's not always the most effective way to live. You know, I like to get to the end of the day and realize that and accept the fact that I was a co-creator of this day. I want to be a conscious co-creator of this day and not be at the end of the day going, ugh, what a waste of a day that was.
Mark. Okay, so here's the thing. You all need to follow Mark Ward.
Absolutely.
You need to find you. And if these things are not clear for you, you need to really schedule a session with him. He is a life strategist. Help you get this stuff straight. And maybe for some people, that's why success appears to have eluded them, because they may not know what success looks like. And you need somebody to help you define that, because there is a plethora, I'm using a big word today, of people's ideas of success. There's stuff that tells you you're successful if you do this, if you do this, or if you do that, or if you go and whatever it is, they're telling you that.
And as we've talked about often, we have a tendency as people to focus on the means instead of the end. And that's also a form of sabotage that many of us are blind to in our own lives. For example, earlier you were speaking about, for example, maybe your level of success is having a certain amount of money in the bank. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. That's all fine and good. But that's not really your goal. That's what you may have led yourself to believe that the goal is, but it's really about what is the money going to give you. And the reason why that's important is because we close the door to many avenues of possibility by focusing on the means at the expense of the end, because we begin to become myopic and singly focused on this way being the way to get there, when there may be 5 other ways, but you don't know about the 5 other ways because you've confused the means of getting what you want with the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you're going to say it again so we can have it sink in. Because see what we're doing right here, right now, Mark, we are retraining our thoughts and our brains, because most of the time nobody has talked to us about this in this way. So say that part again about confusing the means with the end.
Too many people confuse the means with the end, meaning that they confuse what they believe to be the way that they're going to get what they want with being what it is that they actually want. But if you look under the hood, usually you will find that there's something underneath there that is really at the core of what they want. But they have decided this is the way to get that. So that has become the goal and the definition of success. And that's all fine and good, but it's not the only way to get there. So you are sabotaging yourself by just focusing on that particular means. The example that I always use, because it's the one that's clearest to me, is not that long ago. I had a client who, one of the objectives that she listed in our work together was to find the best MBA program and the best school to go to for an MBA program. Okay, that's great. We can work on that. However, that's not her real objective. The real objective is what she believes that MBA is going to get her. So let's not lose sight of that, because if we focus on that, we might find that there are several other avenues to get that rather than just the MBA. MBA at all. So why sabotage yourself? And this is where it's very easy for us to be blind to ourselves, because you have to dig a little bit and make sure that you're not confusing means with end. And so much of that is true just in work, right? Because so often when people get more matured, when they've been working for a while, you forget why you're doing what you're doing. Initially, when you start out to work, usually it's for purposes of creating some sort of life that you imagine or desire.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people along the way, they lose track of that. And so their life becomes about the work, which is the means.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why in workplaces, so often there is so much discord and disharmony and craziness. It's because people have lost sight of why they are doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're working for someone else, they know why they have you there, but your reason is not necessarily the same. And it also changes because we evolve. We gain greater wisdom. We have different desires. So you have to continue to ask yourself, why am I doing what I am doing?
Mm-hmm.
All related to that definition of success, which you have to have in order to hit the target. You have to have one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not forget and not confuse the target. Wait, I'm aiming at the wrong thing. I heard a definition from someone, and they were saying in the Bible it talks about sin, and sin in the Greek and the Hebrew means missing the mark. It's an archery term where you either have not aimed at the target or you missed it when you did aim at it. And it's missing the mark. You're not hitting the actual target that you were looking at. And I can see how we have missed the success mark, not you, Mark, but the mark of the success that we were looking for, because we're not either aiming at the target. And what Mark is talking about here, we're confusing the bow and the arrow. Oh, look, I got this new bow and this new arrow. Wait a minute, the target's over there. And we're not focusing. If I can just get that bow and that arrow, that crossbow. No, the target is the goal is the target over there. We need to figure out what that target is what is our target, and not get caught up in the tools along the way to help us get to the target, i.e., if I use this particular program, it's going to help me get these many clients or what have you, and you do all of this stuff to go get this program. Whereas if you were just focusing on getting the client, or not necessarily getting the client, I know I'm saying this, hopefully somebody's understanding, but when you are focusing in on getting, if I get those clients if I can just get that particular client, then I will be successful. We'll know the reason why you wanted that client is so that you can help that person do whatever that thing is that you wanted to do. Mark said it better. I'm just going to say that.
So many people, one of the ways that I think so many of us can relate to is so often our definition of success is related to some monetary value. And that's always a big sign right there, because it's never about the money. It's about what you think the money's going to get you. And if you could have the things that the money got you without the money, wouldn't that be okay too?
Yeah.
So it's about, focusing on what it is that you want, what goes beyond that means. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. It's great to have financial benchmarks and goals. That's good. That's powerful. That's wonderful. I'm all for that. But it's about not losing sight of, why do you want that? What's in that for you? What is it that you want to get from that? Because that's what it's really about.
It's causing me to rethink a few things. Like, okay, like in my industry for real estate, a lot of people get into real estate for the money.
Well, we all have financial goals because we need to sustain ourselves. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to be self-sufficient. Um,
But
and
is that, but
so
at,
that is not to diminish those things. And I think that's what Mark just said.
no,
You
and
need those goals, you need those objectives.
but is that the main objective? Is that why
What
you
is the
got,
purpose for
why
achieving that objective?
why did you get into whatever it was you were
Mhm.
doing? It's more than just the money.
Mhm.
Right. When things begin to exceed need, right? When your goals go beyond, I mean, obviously there's a hierarchy of needs. We have to
Mhm.
be able to live, we have to eat, we have to pay our bills, we want to live comfortably, whatever that is to each of us individually. That's all important. Once it extends beyond that baseline, then it becomes about what it is that you're really trying to create for yourself. What is the dream?
Now, that's the question we asked on Thursday. If every one of your needs were met and you had all the money that you needed and you had everything, now what? What would you be doing now? And maybe that's where we start.
Well, it also comes down to the difference between a vision and a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A vision is generally, at least from my perspective, is a big picture. It's a dream. The vision should take your breath away a little bit. Like the vision should not be something that you can necessarily easily attain. It's something that you're reaching for. And the goals are, the benchmarks, the means to the end, the means to that vision, to achieving that vision. For me, that's the way I look at it.
Wow. Dr. Tachi has a comment here. She says, I think people look at social media the same way. They look at the same way. They look at social media as a means to an end. For many, it's simply going to be the tool to get what they want, i.e., more clients. It's simply going to be for many, it's simply going to be the tool to get what they want, e.g., more clients. We've got a lot to think about on this Monday. Coffee, tea, thoughts, conversation. And Mark has given us a lot to think about. And again, you need to follow Mark Ward. And is it newdesign.com, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
It is. You can find me at Ask Mark Ward everywhere. Good. And even if you go to askmarkward.com, that'll take you to my website too.
Okay, cool. And Chanu says, money gives you options, but what are those options?
Mm-hmm.
AskMarkWard.com, correct, Mark?
Yes, that'll take you there.
Okay, cool. AskMarkWard.com. And I think we should ask.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a safe place, and Mark, his heart is to help get people to a better place or a happier place, or help them discover. Yeah. AskMarkWard.com. He's looking to get you to the place that you want to be. And sometimes we get in our own way, and we need to have help uh, unscrambling things, because we can get distracted by all of the noise that's in the space. Well, you need to do this to be successful. Here, come over here and make six figures. And when six figures may not be the end goal, but we need to have somebody help us figure that stuff out. And Mark is that person to help us figure that stuff out. We're going to get him on for a workshop, and we'll talk to him about that. But in the meantime, go to askmarkward.com, get the process started. You need a cheerleader, you need a coach, you need a community to help you get where you're going. You have all three of those here with BizChicks.net. And Mark is one of the key components. He's a coach that'll help you get there and help you figure it all out. If you are feeling cluttered or distracted, let him help you. Let him help you. And see if he can help you get to the place that you want to be. And he'll help you discover what that is and how to get there, or give you some ideas. So that is our conversation for today. Terry, is there anything you'd like to add?
I just want to say, if you're looking to connect with us, you can connect with BizChicks at bizchicks.net. We'd love for you to follow us over on YouTube. So we thank you in advance for subscribing. We'd love for you to be a part of our community. So come on and join us over here at bizchicks.net. You'll see the heartbeat. That is where our community is hosted, and we'd love for you to be a part. You can do that over on bizchicks.net, or you can text biz to 33777, and that will take you into the heartbeat also. With that, we love you. We hope that you'll join us tomorrow. We'll be talking about strategies for digital marketing with Terry Johnson online everywhere. Wednesday, we'll be talking to Coach Karen about our money mindset. Thursday, we will be in here with Robin Shimizu talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And on Friday, we will be talking tech with the Tech Life Weekly community. So with that, come on over, join us. We look forward to talking with you because it's all about you. We'll see you then. And remember, it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. See you later, friend.